Oh my god, hi! It's a fancy seeing you here today, especially because we're at the same place at the same time. That's pretty crazy, and it also is my house. Also, I am aware that there is in fact a glare on my glasses, okay? Don't you even worry about it, I am aware. You see it? You see it? So this movie is called Little Bee, and if you're thinking, wow, did you make this yellow cardigan just so you'd have something bee-themed to wear for the bee-themed video? No, don't be ridiculous. I didn't do that. However, please compliment it, okay? I'm kind of obsessed with it. So this wonderful movie is directed by Michelle Gabriel. Now, if you don't know or recognize that name, they also brought us classics such as What's Up and Ratatouille, so already we know that this movie is going to be absolutely fabulous. Now, this beloved movie tells the story of a honeymaker bee who wants to be a soldier, and then a soldier who wants to be a honeymaker bee. So what happens when they follow their heart? Well, that, my friends, is what we're gonna find out. So this movie starts off with a lovely musical piece that we hear throughout the film, and it absolutely drove me crazy. I have to be so real. It sounded so similar to something, and I simply couldn't put my finger on it, and it drove me crazy until about 3/4 of the way through the movie. I knew the answer, like the bee gods were blessing me with this musical knowledge, and I was like, oh my god, it sounds like a slowed down version of Silver and Gold from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Silver and gold.
So, you're welcome. I'm a good Samaritan, and I saved you from that agony. Unless if I was the only one that drove crazy, then I guess I'm the crazy one. Our main character, Beanard, who is voiced by Veronica Taylor, you know, the original voice of this little known character called Ash Ketchum. I've never heard of anything that involves an Ash Ketchum, but maybe you do, so maybe that's relevant to you. So Beanard is out collecting nectar, right? And his mom comes along and lectures him on the importance of following his job and doing his part, which is in fact not collecting nectar. It is I'll stop, but it's becoming a soldier.
You shouldn't be buzzing around in the flowers. You're supposed to be a soldier someday. And besides, you should be in class. Go back to school.
You've told me 1,000,000 times, but it's just, I can't stop. I gotta make honey. I'm good at it, and I'm not gonna stop until the whole world knows how good.
And this is actually just the entire plot of the movie. So his mother comes along and drags him back to class where, you know, they're learning important lessons such as conforming to society and knowing your place, which are actually two of the most important lessons that I think we should be teaching our youth. So this gets a stamp of approval from me.
All right, class, let's review. What is the key to a strong hive?
Working together and doing our part, Lady Aluska. Know your place.
It is also in this class where we meet our other main character, who is named Beauty, because of course this is a bee movie and every single bee has to have a bee-themed name. That's just how these things work.
Yeah! Fight, fight, fight! And if anybody tries to mess with this hive, we'll swarm them! Yeah!
Anyways, Beauty is a bee who has a love for both being a soldier and cooking. Oh no, she wants to do both! So after this wonderful lesson of conformity and never ever deviating from the societal norm, we are met with our next scene, which is, say it with me everybody, Bee Boot Camp. That's right, we all saw this coming, and this was not a shock to me at all. It is here where we meet our fine Commander Bee, whose entire job is, you know, shaping up these bee privates into wonderful bee soldiers.
Well, I guess you have your whole lives to learn how to do this right.
Sir, yes, sir!
Fortunately, we live in times of peace. Because if we were at war, we'd all be lost. You're a disgrace!
Sir, we are a disgrace, sir!
And you, Beanard, you're not ever going to be a soldier.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right, sir. Maybe there's some way you could transfer me to the honey production sector, sir.
I see. So, you're a cook.
It's during this lesson that Beanard once again expresses his love for cooking and wanting to cook the honey. So the commander in turn tells Beanard that he has to stay behind with him and do some drills because, you know, he's got to make sure that this soldier bee becomes a soldier.
All of you other soldiers are dismissed. But You're not getting off that easy. I think we better run some drills. Sharpen your stinger, son, because you're gonna need it. Now, report to the firing range. And stay on target!
Stay on target? How can I stay on target if I can't even get close to it to begin with?
But then in the next scene, the commander just completely dips. He's nowhere in sight. He just leaves, I'm assuming. Which is highly convenient because then Beauty comes in and just swoops and nails that bullseye. Which would have been a big no if the commander was there, because everybody say it with me, the bees have a hierarchy where cooker bees cannot become soldier bees and vice versa. Exactly.
You have a real gift.
Of course I do. My rear is in gear. You soldiers can kiss my butt. Seriously, I'm stuck. Can you help a girl out?
Now that I think about it, your stinger has just made an excellent point. You realize as a worker, your presence here is completely inexcusable.
Yes, but you don't want to get me into any trouble. Misfits like us need to stick together, don't we?
I don't know. I could get into big trouble keeping the secret. You know what a big deal rules are.
So Bernard says that he'll keep Beauty's secret safe, that she was here practicing, if she doesn't tell anyone that Bernard has a secret recipe for honey.
Don't worry, I'll keep your secret safe. But in return, you have to promise me not to tell anyone that I'm working on a new recipe for the most delicious honey yet.
That sounds fair. You can do whatever you want.
Which honestly, this part didn't make any sense to me because Beauty doesn't know about the secret recipe. So why is Beauty... Or why is Bernard telling Beauty that his secret, if someone came up to me and they're like, hey, listen, you can't tell anyone about this secret. And I was like, don't you worry, I won't tell anyone. As long as you don't tell anyone that I robbed someone the other day. And they're like, whoa, pause, okay, backtrack. You robbed someone? I just had an epiphany that it is because in the next scene, Bernard asked for Beauty's help. So I guess it does make sense. And I'm sorry for thinking that the Little Bee movie had a plot hole. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Hey, wait! How do you plan on using the kitchen? Soldiers aren't allowed in there.
That's why you'll be my accomplice.
What? No way! The chef would take a spatula to my head and the queen would sting me through the heart!
I have to say, the punishment in this kingdom, I'm guessing, because there's a queen, kingdom, is absolutely brutal. Like, if the queen finds out she's gonna stab you through the heart, it's giving Hammurabi's code. You know, the well-known laws, such as if a man destroys the eye of another man, they shall destroy his eye, and if a cooker bee becomes a soldier, the queen will stab them through the heart. Basic knowledge. We arrive in the kitchen with the chef, who is just notorious for making just gross honey, just like the worst, sour, awful honey. And he's French.
Magnifique!
So Beauty absolutely girl bosses her way into becoming an intern for the chef.
If I could, I'd like to stick around after class and use the kitchen so I can perfect and refine my culinary techniques and become the best chef I can be, please.
But of course, my little darling. However, you must clean up after yourself.
Absolutely, sir. I promise that everything will be spotless. You'll never know I was there.
I have a good feeling about this. You will start today by cleaning up after moi. Perhaps I will make you my intern. The next best thing to being a great chef is working for one.
Thank you, sir. That would be fantastic. There's no greater chef than you.
I'll see you later then.
So once the chef leaves Beauty alone in the kitchen, Bernard is free to start making up his scrumptious, not disgusting honey. Now pause, rewind. I want to see if you saw what I just saw. Okay, number one is that like it's blank and then boom, it's all there. He just like writes it all at once, which is pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. But the second one is that his thumbs are like in his sweater, which begs the question, are bees just yellow in this universe and they put on sweaters to make them black and yellow? Or are they wearing a sweater on top? And why is his thumbs in the sweater? I feel like that defeats the whole purpose of having opposable thumbs if they're just in a sweater. Now, of course, on his first try, Bernard makes an absolutely scrumptious honey.
2 drops of orange blossom nectar like so, and that should do it. Try it.
Hold on. Wow, this is great!
Now, Bernard wants to make more honey tomorrow, so he gives Beauty the task of collecting some nectars that he's going to need. And let me tell you, my favorite part about this scene, is it the blossoming friendship between our two protagonists? No, of course not. It is the delightful boing sound that I have no idea why there's a boing sound there, but it is there and it is delightful.
I got a funny feeling our arrangement is gonna work out just fine.
Yeah, maybe you're right. If we work together, we can get what we want.
We now meet our wonderful queen, who is very cheerful and enthusiastic, and that is not at all sarcastic.
Your Majesty?
Why do I bother?
But the queen is talking with one of the princesses, and the princess wants to know how to become a better princess. And during this whole exchange, I'm pretty sure she wants to create a BCIA.
One more thing, Your Majesty. I had an idea on how to improve Homeland security. Let's say we had an elite force of specially trained covert operatives, highly skilled in information analysis and surveillance. Then we wouldn't be vulnerable to foreign attacks.
Like, that's just a BCIA, right? That is fully a CIA, but for bees. Which is honestly a good thing, because I've been watching some movies lately and I was like, what is this movie missing? And I kept thinking a BCIA would just really complete all these movies that I've been seeing. So I'm really happy to have that dream finally fulfilled. I finally get to see a BCIA in a movie. So check that off my 2023 bingo list. So the queen shuts her down, explaining that they're in a time of peace. They don't need B agents watching over foreign affairs.
We live in peaceful times. There's no need to bother with intelligence. Why don't you run along now like a good little princess?
With all due respect, Your Majesty, it's a smart thing to do.
Nope.
Oh, poop.
Poop? Shh, that's just rude.
No, I have to say, this movie is just delightful for quotes. I mean, catch me saying poop. Now that's just rude. That's t-shirt material right there. I need that on a t-shirt. So Beauty is off collecting the nectar that Bernard needs for the honey, but uh-oh, the princess suspects something is up, so she starts spying on Beauty and Bernard.
I don't want to get all paranoid, but I got a feeling. I'm so certain that something is up with that girl, I would even bet my platinum tiara on it. The chef is way arrogant, but he doesn't expect much from his students, and his honey's gross.
So Beauty flies to Bernard to drop off the nectar, and she just completely drops it.
Beauty is back! Clear out of the way, Bernard! I'm gonna stick the biggest steak of all time!
No! Please don't! Be careful! Just calm down, you'll spill the nectar!
No, I won't!
You're aiming right at me!
Here I am!
Oh.
Oh, no, don't you worry. I won't drop this. And now the princess knows all about Bernard's and Beauty's plan. Oh no!
Wow, that girl bee has incredible aim. She's way better than most soldiers. And I'm pretty sure that's Bernard, who never does what he's supposed to. What an interesting combination. I wonder what they're up to. I better keep a close eye on those guys.
Now let me tell you, nothing could have prepared me for this next scene, so you're just gonna get it cold, okay? You're just... enjoy.
Well, time to check the hive. That's too bad. This honey just isn't any good anymore. Well, I guess that's it for this hive.
So now that we know that the setting of this story is a beehive in the middle of the old Windows desktop background, this begs the question of where on earth is that army base? Because it looked like it was in the open, right? It looked like it was outside. So where's the army base? I'm a little confused. So now we go to Bernard and Beauty, who are singing.
I hear a voice inside of me.
I know that it won't steer me wrong.
Now the bees are quite literally shaking in their boots when the attacker comes.
If I don't make any noise, they'll never see me coming.
Since the hive is under attack, the army bees are sent out and they conveniently find a rip in the bee suit and they sting the human.
Yes, I've located a point of entry. Stinger armed, commencing my attack run now. For the queen! Oh! Oh! Oh man, that hurts! I'm gonna bring down your whole hive.
Maybe so, but not today. For the queen!
Now that's just mean. This lousy old suit, oh man.
Oh man. Oh man. The humans begin to talk over their plan to get rid of the hive, but uh-oh, the princess overhears them.
Look, we'll go tomorrow, but this time we'll be prepared. I'll bring the spray to knock them out, and we'll wear brand new suits.
The spray will just put them to sleep, right? I mean, we're not gonna hurt them.
Don't worry, they'll just take a little nap. Then we'll take the hive apart. The honey is really not good.
Oh man, it's the worst. If we had to live off the money we made from that honey, we'd be bankrupt. If only it was delicious, but it's awful, so they're out of here.
Aha! That's what they're up to. They want to destroy the hive because the honey is no good anymore.
This movie is a lot more true to life than I first gave it credit for, because of course it's the chef's fault. He's French. Guys, we should have known this. His honey c'est dégoûtant. Back at the hive, the soldiers are preparing for war, just like any other country would do, by doing a little song and dance.
Marching, marching to protect the hive. Marching, marching to defend our lives. For the queen!
So Bernard and the princess bump into each other.
Beanard, thank goodness I ran into you.
Oh yeah? Why?
I figured out a way to stop the war.
You did what? Wow, that's incredible. Listen, I have to patrol the northern border now.
I'll go with you. Look, I found out why they're gonna attack us.
You did?
Yes, because our honey doesn't taste good. But you could fix all that with your special recipe.
How do you know about that?
Oh, I know.
Now he does says, how do you know that? As if they didn't have a whole musical dance number together, but that's fine. I can turn a blind eye. I'll overlook it.
What's difficult is getting all those different nectars. I'm sure Beauty could help us out, but she can't do it all on her own. You wouldn't happen to know anything about it, would you?
Of course. I've seen it done. So I'll fly around with Beauty and help out.
I guess spying on people is kind of your thing.
It's research. There's nothing wrong with that. Spying is such an ugly word.
I mean, honestly, that's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, spying is just such an ugly word when you can say espionage, intelligence, eavesdropping, surveillance, infiltration. I mean, just such better words. Spying, such an ugly word. We should honestly just... What was an instantaneous transition for you was actually about a week and a half for me. So that happened. In that time period, I got a microphone. Let's have a little product review interlude, maybe? I think it's called Heyday. That's the brand. It's a microphone. It was $15 at Target. It was also 50% off. This folds down into a little stand. You can also mute yourself. And now you can hear me. Isn't that so much fun? Yeah, overall, I give it works out of 10. So the humans start suiting up for their epic battle against the bees.
I'm a new man!
As they suit up, Bernard starts making the honey, and you're never gonna guess where the chef is. He's feeling a little shy today. He's a little nervous, guys. He's a little nervous. They go deliver the honey. While they're delivering the honey, the chef comes out and he gets a little taste of Bernard's honey, and he realizes...
This is delicious! The flavors speak to my soul. But how? It can't be! It's the best honey I've ever tasted!
But thankfully for us, the chef has the perfect solution on how to rectify this problem that he's created.
There is only one thing I can do to right this wrong. Wish those kids the best of luck. I can't believe it. I'm not worthy to be called chef. I'm such a loser.
We're gonna get the job done. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. You with me?
I got your back.
Now, after getting a little too up close and personal with the humans with that really cinematic shot of going straight through their legs, we begin the fight.
That's right. Come and get it.
Okay, now listen. I'm no movie maker, I'm no sound designer, I'm no movie director. But I have to say, it was a little bit of an unusual choice, if you will, to have this just happy music playing, this little cheerful tune playing,
While the bees are actively collapsing and presumably dying, now while Beanard is flying, he does get hit with the spray. But do not worry, he is simply the definition of built different because he just wakes right up.
No! Look behind you, Beanard!
Beanard, wake up, please. Please, we're counting on you. Oh no, this can't be happening. After all this, we've come so close, but now the valve won't be opened and the hive will be lost.
No, it won't.
So the human almost steps on Beanard and the princess. So what does Beauty do? She goes right up and she stings the human, which gives us this absolutely amazing line.
Owie, owie, owie! I can't believe they got me again!
Owie, owie, owie! I can't believe they got me again! I am in love with this movie, and that is not a joke anymore. I'm a Little Bee stan, okay? And I wear that proudly. I am a proud Little Bee stan. So Beanard saves the day by turning the nozzle. I really don't know how it works, but he turns the nozzle and good honey comes out, and the hive is saved because good honey! Yay!
Wow, look at all that honey! I've never seen that much come out at once. This stuff is delicious. No way we're getting rid of this hive. It's staying right where it is.
So how did they repay this wonderfully courageous act that Beanard does? Well, by arresting him, of course. Time for a trial. And the queen is just so unreasonable, which honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. This is a monarch we're talking about, so actually that checks out pretty well.
Soldier Beanard, I hope that you are aware, son, of the severity of the charges that have been brought against you. What are the charges brought against him?
I believe he wasn't in the squadron when the commander called the reserves into action, Your Majesty. And this boy never wanted to be a soldier. I'm certain of that.
So that's like bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can spare me the details next time. Just the broad strokes.
She also just doesn't know any of the laws. Not one. She's just making it up as she goes. And, like, what a girl boss moment, but also you are in charge of, like, an entire country, kingdom. So maybe you should know the laws of the land, but that's just me. So the queen, of course, decides to banish Beanard, and to that, the princess comes along and she's like, hey, but don't you know Beanard made the honey? Like, he literally saved the hive. What do you on about? And then the queen is like, but no. Obviously the chef made the honey. That's just how things work. And then the chef, on his wonderful character arc, he comes clean and he explains the situation.
That divinely sweet and glorious creation was in fact made by the soldier boy, Beanard.
But how could you know that?
I'm ashamed to say that I was hiding in the kitchen the whole time. I saw it all. And to see this boy cook is magnifique. As for my own honey, I know now it is quite terrible. I mean, it is bad.
So what does one bee say to comfort the chef who just realized that all of his life's work was actually kind of meaningless because he actually kind of sucks at his job even though he thought he was one of the best? I mean, honestly, that must be pretty hard to go through. Well, of course, this bee offers the very kind words of,
Oh, I feel sorry for the chef. It must be hard being a loser.
So the queen replies to this saying, Beanard, you're in even more trouble now because we all know a soldier bee can't be a chef. Or can they?
I never once stopped defending our hive. I just used a different weapon. I'm no good with my stinger. But I didn't give up. I had to do something else to help out. My weapon wasn't my stinger, it was my honey.
Yeah. Commander?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Check my math here, if you don't mind. But I think we have the first soldier chef. For the first time in over 42 million years, isn't that right?
I wholeheartedly agree, Your Majesty.
I thought so. Come forward, Beanard. By the power of the hive, as its queen, I honor this hero, the first ever soldier and chef, and savior of the hive, Beanard!
Go, chef! Go, chef! Yes, go, Beanard! Hero!
I don't know why the music is so loud. They are for sure jamming over here, you know?
But look forward to a great
This movie ends with a wonderful little dancey dance and a Microsoft PowerPoint transition to the next scene where they break the fourth wall and they tell us to follow our hearts.
Oh, yeah!
Look at that! I think we're being watched.
Yeah, you're right. Gosh, who is it? An enemy spy? If it is...
Hey, what are you guys looking at? I see we have a visitor, but who are they? A drone? Or a worker bee? Possibly a princess? Maybe a soldier? It's hard to say exactly. Hey, I got it! This is someone who's following their heart wherever it takes them.
You think? Cool. Well, good luck.
We're buzzing out of here. See you soon.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just so emotional. This movie just really got to me, you know? I can't think of a single thing wrong with this movie. I mean, Ash Ketchum's in this movie. Ash Ketchum is in this movie. But I know you don't want to take my word for it, and that is okay. We're going to be taking a look at James Johnson's review of this movie. So, James Johnson, this one's for you. This is one of the infrequent movies that transpires to capture our society's quandaries in only 55 minutes and 49 seconds of playtime. It commences off with a great hook that shows the fundamental quandary with our school system, the molding, and the lack of promotion of ingenuity. It withal shows the inability of the school system to transmute because of a fundamental quandary with society. We all endeavor to categorize each other into different categories: chefs, royalty, soldiers, drones. It shows that some people just don't fit the mold. This caused me to have a fundamental querying with our society and question why we place each other into stereotypical roles and categories like gender. The next part of the movie fixates on the inability to express ourselves as human beings. It shows that we aren't given enough resources to express ourselves and accomplish things that we might want to accomplish in life. The animation was so avant-garde and inspiring, and the music was some of the most soul-warming that I've ever heard. Or, at least that was what I mentally conceived on the first watch. Then, I found the deeper meaning in the movie after my 126th time optically canvassing. The true meaning is that life is a frivolous enigma that has no designation, is only in subsistence because of a simulation from a more preponderant authenticity who cleans the true meaning of life. This movie was just an endeavor at communication from the 16th dimension of another macrocosm. They are endeavoring to communicate to us a message that we can't understand as singular cerebral beings that only subsist in 3 dimensions. After my 187th time optically canvassing, I deduced the true meaning as I transcended the 14th dimension and have become a multi-dimensional creature. I am currently peregrinating the macrocosm probing for the designation of life and other questions that life can't answer. I have all the erudition that transpires to subsist in this macrocosm, but I still can't comprehend how deep this movie. After a few eons of math, I deduced that the cognizance lies in the 87th macrocosm, which has things that you as puny mortal beings couldn't understand. I've peregrinated back in time to tell you about this message. Wow. James Johnson, you've outdone yourself. You've encapsulated what this movie is all about. I applaud you. I'm a big fan, is what I'm trying to say, and I would totally love an autograph. Anyways, here's some other 5-star reviews. I know you guys all want to pause and read them because you're all very curious. I mean, so many people were fundamentally changed by this movie. And there's only one thing I can say that is really wrong with the movie, but, of course I wouldn't say anything was wrong with the movie, but, the bees are constantly moaning. And, I'm not saying that Little Bee is bad because the bees are constantly moaning. That is not what I'm saying. You can cross that off. I'm not insinuating that at all. I'm just saying it was a choice, and perhaps a choice I would have done differently, but that is the beauty of art. We all do art differently. So I am still a Little Bee stan through and through. I just thought I should make you aware of that point. Anyways, back to what I was saying, that so many people were fundamentally changed by this movie that I knew I had to spread the Little Bee gospel. I have to become a Little Bee prophet, if you will. Is this a religion now? I mean, can I make a religion? I think I can make a religion. Okay, hey, hi everybody. How's it going? So like hypothetically, if I started a Little Bee religion, who would join me?
Little Bee.
So this brings our little adventure, our little story time to a close. I hope you fundamentally changed as a person. You know, I hope you're questioning your morals and your values, and I hope you're having a lot of deep thought about Little Bee, because that's what Little Bee was made for. And with that, I bid you adieu, okay? And I hope you're having a fantastic time of day, whatever time of day it is for you. And stay tuned for the Little Bee religion updates. I'll be sure to keep you updated. You can leave my house now. Bye! To defend the hive, marching, marching, bum ba bum ba bum.